Prepare for warp speed as we embark on a voyage through the vast expanse of science fiction in movies and television series. From distant planets to alien civilizations, we delve into the heart of the unknown, unraveling the tales that have captured audiences for generations. Get ready to unlock the secrets of the universe on Code Flicks.
Hi, and welcome to the Cold Flicks episode. We'll be looking at the X-Files. So, I really wanted to talk about this particular TV series because I grew up learning about this series, watching it, and into adulthood, I thought of actually deciding to watch even more of it, getting a little bit more out of it. So this episode will focus on looking at X-Files, going deep into what it is that X-Files means to me and perhaps for many of you out there. And hopefully we can bridge a gap between what we understand and what we don't understand. To kick things off, the X-Files is an American science fiction drama television series created by Chris Carter. The original TV series aired from September 1993 to May 2002 on Fox. During its original run, the program spanned 9 seasons with 202 episodes. A short 10 season consisting of 6 episodes ran from January to February 2016. Following the ratings and success of this revival, the X-Files returned for an 11th season of 10 episodes, which ran from January to March 2018. In addition to the television series, 2 feature films have been released. The 1998 film, The X-Files, and the standalone film, The X-Files, I Want to Believe, released in 2008, 6 years after the original television run had ended. The series revolves around Federal Bureau of Investigation's Special Agent Fox Mulder, that's David Duchovny, and Dana Scully, Gillian Anderson, who investigate the eponymous X-Files, marginalized unsolved cases involving paranormal phenomena. Mulder is a skilled criminal profiler, an ardent supernaturalist, and a conspiracy theorist who believes in the existence of the paranormal, whereas Scully is a medical doctor and a skeptic who has been assigned to scientifically analyze Mulder's discoveries. Early in the series, both agents became pawns in a larger conflict and came to trust one another and a few special people. The agents also discovered an agenda of the government to keep secret the existence of extraterrestrial life. Mulder and Scully shared adventures, leading them to develop a close platonic bond, which by series end developed into a romantic relationship. Roughly 1/3 of the series episodes follow a complex mythopoeia-driven story arc about a planned alien invasion, whereas the other 2/3 are Monster of the Week episodes that each focus on a one-off villain, mutant, or monster. So apparently the X-Files was also inspired by earlier TV series which featured elements of suspense and speculative fiction, including The Twilight Zone, Night Gallery, Tales from the Dark Side, Twin Peaks, and especially Kolchak, The Night Stalker. The X-Files was a hit for the Fox network and received largely positive reviews, although the long-term story arc was criticized near the conclusion. Initially considered a cult series, it turned into a pop culture touchstone that tapped into public mistrust of governments and large institutions, and embraced conspiracy theories and spirituality. Both the series itself and lead actors Duchovny and Anderson received multiple awards and nominations, and by its conclusion, the show was the longest-running science fiction series in US television history. The series also spawned a franchise that includes Millennium and the Lone Gunman spin-off series, two theatrical films, and accompanying merchandise. Of course, all of this I would not have known without having to look at the wiki pages, but of course, this is good information to have. So, as stated before, The X Files follows the careers and personal lives of FBI Special Agents Fox Mulder and Dana Scully. Special Agent Mulder is a talented profiler and conspiracy theorist and an ardent supernaturalist. He's also adamant about the existence of intelligent extraterrestrial life and its presence on Earth. This set of beliefs earns for him the name Spooky Mulder and an assignment to a little-known department that deals with unsolved cases, the X-Files, as it is called. His belief in a paranormal springs from the claimed abduction of his sister, Samantha Mulder, by extraterrestrials when Mulder was 12. Her abduction drives Mulder throughout most of the series. Because of this, as well as more nebulous desires for vindication and the revelation of truths kept hidden by human authorities, Mulder struggles to maintain objectivity in his investigations. And that is something that really stood out for me initially watching the series when I was younger, because you would definitely see that this man was definitely, there were things going on, and most persons who would have said there are some crazy stuff happening, UFOs or seeing aliens or something like that, or a ghost, or coming upon animals that might be cryptids, right? Those stories tend to go even more deeper with the X Files, and having Mulder being on that side, on the fence, and having Dana Scully as his backup, or as the person who will look at things and be more technical, scientific, and putting her work, or skepticism to work there, I think was very, very integral to the process of understanding what the X Files was about for me. And that alone, probably kept the audience for so long, right? Because many other shows have tried a similar paradigm since or before and have not been as successful. But I think that is what kind of makes TV show The X Files different from all of those. So, as mentioned before, various episodes would have dealt with the relationship between Mulder and Scully, originally platonic, but it later develops into a full-on romantic relationship. Mulder and Scully are joined by John Doggett and Monica Reyes late in the series after Mulder is abducted, right? Doggett replaces him as Scully's partner and helps her search for him, later involving Reyes, who Doggett had professionally known. The initial run of the X-Files ends with Mulder secretly being subjected to military tribunal for breaking into a top-secret military facility and viewing plans of the alien invasion and colonization of Earth. He is found guilty and sentenced to death, but escapes punishment, and with the help of other agents, he and Scully become fugitives. So there are several different themes that I can really, and most persons might be able to pull out of the X Files. The One of the biggest ones for me would be the mythology of the conspiracies that surrounds all of the events that occur, and how those are treated in such a manner that it brings out probably some of the better elements as well as not so good elements at times. As the show progresses, key episodes called parts of it's like the major arcs of the series were recognized as the mythology of the series and, in such a respect, the canon of the series. These episodes carried the extraterrestrial conspiracy storyline that evolved throughout the series. You often had like monster of the week, type of episodes, what we would call filler episodes nowadays, that were more centered around like just having one-off stuff that would never see again. So you'd have a monster, or you'd have a ghost, or you'd have something that is just out there and like Loch Ness monster, right? Just appear and then it just doesn't show up anymore in the series. So that kind of kept the episodes going. Probably gave the writer some time to rest and figure out other plot lines that they want to add to the major plot. The remainder of the X Files series, majority of them dealt with paranormal phenomena, including cryptids, as I mentioned before, mutants, science fiction technology, horror monsters, and religious phenomena. Some of the Monsters of the Week episodes even featured satiric elements and comedic storylines. So there were several different things that, would not necessarily make sense, but they added it in there just so that it can be a good foil, a good laugh, give some kind of element to that. So the main story arc, as I mentioned, would have involved them uncovering a government conspiracy, big one, that covers up the existence of extraterrestrials and their sinister collaboration with the government, right? These mysterious men constituting a shadow element within the US government known as a syndicate are the major villains in the series. Later on in the series, it is revealed that the syndicate acts as the only liaison between mankind and the group of extraterrestrials that intend to destroy the human species. They are usually represented by the cigarette smoking man, a ruthless killer, master politician, negotiator, field novelist, and the series' principal antagonist. So, and I want to make something clear here, because to me, the smoking man not only represented that element, but he also embodies this whole mystique of trying to show that even the bad guy, and I think probably that's what they were going with, that the bad guy is the one that smokes a lot. Perhaps they kind of over the time in successive serials they would have toned down the smoking part of his character, but it remained to me that guy smoking gun. It's so that symbolism and having him being the smoking man, we never really knew his name, or his name wasn't that all important anyways. But that to me was, just out there. As the series goes on, Mulder and Scully learn about new evidence of the alien invasion, and they piece things together. It is also revealed that the extraterrestrials plan on using a sentient virus known as the black oil, also known as purity, to infect mankind and turn the population of the world into a slave race. The syndicate, having made a deal to be spared by the aliens, have been working to develop an alien human hybrid that will be able to withstand the effects of the black oil. The group has also been secretly working on a vaccine to overcome the black oil. This vaccine is revealed in the latter parts of season 5, as well as in the 1998 film. Counter to the alien colonization effort, another faction of aliens, the Faceless Rebels, are working to stop alien colonization. Eventually, the season 6 episodes manage to talk about like the destroying the syndicate colonists now without human liaisons dispatch the super soldiers, being that beings that resemble humans but are biologically alien. In the latter parts of season 8 and the whole of season 9, the super soldiers managed to replace key individuals in the government, forcing Mulder and Scully to go into hiding. So, yeah, a whole mouthful there, but essentially, these are some crazy elements of what has happened um, since then. And I would have mentioned that I would have rewatched most of X Files, but I might have skipped out like a few, majorly six through to the ending. So this was pretty much news. So Fox Mulder is portrayed by David Duchovny. Mulder is a Oxford-educated FBI special agent, a conspiracy theorist, a talented criminal profiler, and an ardent supernaturalist who believes in the existence of extraterrestrials and a government conspiracy to hide the truth regarding them. He works in the S-Files office, which is concerned with cases marked as unsolvable. Most involve supernatural, mysterious circumstances. Mulder considers the X-Files so important that he has made their study his life's main purpose. After his abduction by aliens at the end of season 7, his role in the show diminishes and much of his work is taken on by Special Agent John Doggett. He appears in an episode of The Lone Gunman and in both the 1998 film The X-Files and the 2008 film The X-Files I Want to Believe. Now, Dana Scully is portrayed by Gillian Anderson. Scully is a FBI special agent, a medical doctor, and a scientist who is Mulder's partner. In contrast to his credulity, Scully is a skeptic, basing her beliefs on scientific explanations. However, despite her otherwise rigid skepticism, she is a Catholic and her faith plays an important role in several episodes. As the series progresses, she becomes more open to the possibility of paranormal happenings. In the latter part of the 8th season, her position in the X-Files office is taken by Special Agent Monica Reyes, and Scully moves to Quantico to teach her new FBI special agents. She appears in both the X-Files feature films. The Cigarette Smoking Man is portrayed by William B. Davis, and he has been in most of the series. The Cigarette Smoking Man is the series' primary villain. In the 9th season episodes, William and the Truth, it suggested that he is Mulder's biological father, which was for me a crazy revelation, as I was like, all along, you're the man father and you behave so, and you couldn't even say hi, couldn't say hi son, this is what I have for you, this is why I'm doing these things. You couldn't find some way. You have all of these contrived ways of doing things. Why didn't you just reach out and, in some way, find some way? Yeah, but of course, he wasn't written that way. And you're probably right, better that way here. So it's better to have him that way. So he has been believed to have been killed after being pushed down a flight of stairs by Alex Krycek until the 9th season finale, The Truth, in which Mulder and Scully travel through remote New Mexico and search a pueblo where the wise man reputedly lived, who is revealed to be the cigarette smoking man. He has also appeared in the 1998 feature film. Alex Krycek is portrayed by Nicholas Lee, and he's in season 5 to 9. Recurring episodes of seasons 2 to 3, I guess season 4. So Krychek is a Russian American, the son of Cold War immigrants, and first introduced as a FBI special agent assigned as a temporary investigation partner to Fox Mulder. Krychek proceeds to work with Mulder and attempts to gain his trust. However, it becomes evident that Krychek is actually an undercover agent working for a cigarette-smoking man. Krychek plays an important part in several events that are harmful to Mulder and Scully. During the early stages of production, Carter founded the 1013 Productions and began to plan for filming the pilot in Los Angeles. However, unable to find suitable locations for many scenes, he decided to go where the good forests are and move production to Vancouver. It was soon realized by the production crew that since so much of the first season would require filming on location rather than on sound stages, a second location would be needed. The show remained in Vancouver for the first 5 seasons. Production then shifted to Los Angeles, beginning with the 6th season. Duchovny was unhappy over this geographical separation from his wife, although his discontent was popularly attributed to frustration with Vancouver's persistent rain. Anderson also wanted to return to the United States, and Carter relented following the 5th season. The season ended in May 1998 with the final episode shot in Vancouver, and the final episode with the involvement of many of the original crew members, including the director and production. With the move to Los Angeles, many changes behind the scenes occurred, as much of the original X-Files crew were gone. The new production designer, Corey Kaplan, and the editors, writers, and directors joined and stayed for several years. The show's new directors and the episodes generally had a drier, brighter look due to California sunshine and climate as compared to Vancouver's rain, fog, and temperature forests. Early in the 6th season, the producers took advantage of the new location setting. For example, Vince Gillan's Drive About a Man Subjected to an Unexplained Illness was a frantic action episode unusual for the X-Files, largely because it was set in the Nevada Stark Desert. Wrote the Dreamland two-part episode was also set in Nevada, this time in Area 51. The episode was largely filmed at Club Ed, a movie ranch located on the outskirts of the Lancaster, California. Although the 6th through to the 9th seasons were filmed in Los Angeles, the series' second movie, The X-Files I Want to Believe 2008, was filmed in Vancouver. According to Sputnik, the film's script was written for the city and surrounding areas. The 2016 revival was also shot there. Now, the X-Files theme, we have to talk about this. The X-Files use more instrumental sections than most dramas. The theme song's famous whistle effect was inspired by the track How Soon Is Now from the US edition of the Smiths' 1985 album Meat is Murder. After attempting to craft the theme with different sound effects, Snow used a Proteus 2 rack mount sound module with a preset sound called Whistling Joe. After hearing the sound, Carter was taken aback and noted it was going to be good. According to the Behind the Truth segment on the first season DVD, Snow created the echo effect on the track by accident. He felt that after several revisions something still was not right. Carter walked out of the room and Snow put his hand and forearm on his keyboard in frustration. By doing so, he accidentally activated an echo effect setting. The resulting riff, Carter, Snow said, "This sound was in the keyboard and that was it." The second episode, Deep Throat, marked Snow's debut as solo composer for an entire episode. The production crew was determined to limit the music in the early episodes. Likely the theme song itself first appeared in Deep Throat. The opening sequence was made in 1993 for the first season and remained unchanged until Duchovny left the show. Carter sought to make the title an impactful opening with supernatural images. These scenes notably included split-screen images of a seed germinating and a terror-filled warped face. The latter was created when Carter found a video operator who was able to create the effect. The sequence was extremely popular and won the show the first Emmy Award, which was for outstanding graphic design and title sequences. Producer Paul Rabwin was particularly pleased with the sequence and felt that it was something that had never been seen on television before. In 2017, James Charisma of Paste ranked the show's opening sequence number 8 on a list of the 75 best TV title sequences of all time. Of course, The X-Files have received positive reviews from television's critics, with many calling it one of the best series that aired on American television in the 1990s. Ratings improved every year for the first 5 seasons, while Mulder and Scully, the first believers versus skeptic dynamic, created a TV template that's still in heavy use today, which is true. This is something that you see in a lot of TV shows, and it's some stuff that we might rehash in other episodes. So all in all, what I'd have to say is X-Files was one of those TV shows that got me into sci-fi, and it propelled me from not just being afraid or being horrified by this new type of show, but it also engaged me on that level of the science and various things that would eventually help me as an individual to be a little bit more skeptical, and at the same time being able to hold to one's belief. If you believe in something strong enough, there's no issue with pursuing it, but you also have to be objective. So that's the balance that I try to keep within my own life and practice it on a daily basis. And as I've mentioned before, there has been numerous other series that come with the particular template that the X-Files has, and I might be able to cover some of these throughout this podcast. And of course, there will be some that do it better than others, of course. If I'm to rate this particular series overall, I would give it a firm 9 out of 10. And of course, my rating system might be different from your rating system, so you might watch it and you might have your own opinion on what that is. But that's what I believe it is. So in this episode, we looked at the X-Files. We dived in to look at the main characters and some of the characters that really, really left an indelible mark on me, especially the cigarette smoking man, and the theme song itself, how critical that was to the show itself, because that brings me into the world even more. And I just, I watch an episode and I'll just continue to watch the intro. I won't skip it because it just helps me to kind of just frame my mind. All right, now, this is what it's gonna be about. The truth is out there is always a good phrase to use, anyways. I really hope that you like this episode of Code Flicks, and I'm hoping that you can give me some comments. Drop me an email. All right. I'm available on all podcasting apps that's in the works. So see you next time.